In this episode of Star Hopping with Kissimmee Park Observatory, we'll look at the Leo region and show you how to find these beautiful deep sky objects. Messier 65, Messier 66, and the spiral galaxy NGC2903. All right, let's go star hopping. Hey, hello, hi, and welcome to episode 14 of Star Hopping with Kissimmee Park Observatory. I'm Dave Hearn, and I'm nearly hysterical to be your host. In this series of programs, we'll show you the most beautiful sights in the night sky and explain exactly how to find them with your binoculars or your telescope. So on to our star hopping targets for this week. I'll be keeping you up a little later this week to around 11:30 p.m. to see the constellation of Leo the Lion appearing up over the eastern horizon. Even though we're in January, we're starting to get hints of the constellation of Spring starting to appear late in the evenings. This begins the time to see galaxies. The constellation of Leo portrays the Great Lion, with the head of the lion appearing as a very recognizable backwards question mark, and the tail shaped like a large triangle. Leo rises with the head of the lion facing straight up, and within its borders lie many deep sky objects, most of which are, as I mentioned, galaxies. We're going to start our episode with a pair of galaxies that lie in the lower back legs of the lion, Messier 65 and Messier 66. These are both reasonably bright objects, shining at magnitude 9.3 and 8.9 respectively. These are both spiral galaxies, somewhat tilted from our perspective. Close by is also the faint large edge-on galaxy NGC2903, which glows at magnitude 9.5, quite a bit more difficult. These three collectively are known as the trio in Leo, and often appear together in medium to wide field astrophotos. This shot from KPO shows only the two main galaxies. To locate the trio, we'll be starting from the second magnitude star in the tip of the tail of the Great Lion, the Nebula. This bright star is also known as the gate to the realm of the galaxies, the Great Virgo cluster of galaxies, whose eastern edge is found about 5 degrees below the star. We'll be investigating the realm in the next couple of episodes of Star Hopping, as there are hundreds of targets available, all galaxies. But back to the Nebula on our star hop to M65 and M66. The Nebula is the tip of the triangle that forms the hindquarters of the lion, with its companion stars Zosma and Chertan. Our first move will be to Chertan, about 8 degrees to the upper right. Now, what I normally do to find the trio of galaxies is to locate the back legs of the lion formed by Chertan, Iota Leonis, and Omicron Leonis, with the last two stars shining at about 4th magnitude. Draw a line from Chertan to Iota, then move about halfway between them. You should run into two smudges of light. You have encountered M65 and M66. Once you've determined the position of the two main galaxies, M66 is the lower and brighter of the two. Move halfway between them. Then move to a right angle about twice the distance between them. And if you have a larger scope, the third galaxy, NGC2903, should come into view. That's our bonus object this week. This group of island universes lies approximately 35 million light years away. The light we're seeing from these galaxies left them around the same time that the first mammals started to appear on Earth. That's always an amazing thing to consider, because as you gaze at almost any galaxy, you're looking far, far back into the distant past. Okay, let's move on to our last object this week, the spiral galaxy NGC2903. This beautiful spiral is the same brightness as M66, gleaming at magnitude 8.9. It lies at the other extreme end of the constellation of Leo, above the top of the lion's head. NGC2903 is one of the brighter galaxies visible from the northern hemisphere. It's yet another beautiful object that Charles Messier missed when he was compiling his catalog. And that was a near miss. 3 of Messier's comets came quite close to NGC2903, between 1760 and 1771. If you remember, Messier was a comet hunter, and his famous list of deep sky objects were things in the sky that he shouldn't confuse with a new comet. To locate NGC2903, we'll be starting from the relatively bright third magnitude star Ras Alaced Australis, whose name means the southern star in the lion's head. Creative, to be sure. This one's pretty easy. We start out by moving about 3 degrees to the upper right to the fourth magnitude star Lambda Leonis. Then we want to move about 2 degrees to the lower right, and the very large wispy form of NGC2903 should appear in our eyepiece. This galaxy is very large. At 12 arc minutes, it is just a little less than half the size of the full moon, which is 30 arc minutes. A full degree in the sky is 60 arc minutes. At a distance of 20 million light years, NGC2903 is about 80,000 light years across, just a little smaller than our own Milky Way. Other similarities to our galaxy include its spiral structure and a central bar. It's easily captured in astrophotos like this one from KPO. Well, our first group of deep sky objects for 2016 were galaxies, and we're going to keep up that trend for a while on the show. We started off with the trio in Leo, with the two main galaxies of that group being Messier 65 and Messier 66, and the bonus object was the faint spiral galaxy NGC 3628. Then we moved to the opposite end of Leo to the top of the lion's mane and snared the large spiral galaxy NGC 2903. And for a look ahead, next week we'll look at even more galaxies rising in the area, and then in the subsequent episodes we'll be exploring the famous realm of the galaxies, as I mentioned, in the constellation of Virgo.
I hope you've enjoyed star hopping around the Milky Way. These videos are designed to help you find deep sky objects that are up in the sky at the time we post them on social media. I create these videos to help everyone learn the sky and get more enjoyment out of their telescopes and astronomy in general. Don't miss my free field notes for this episode, basically the script of the show, with all the images and star charts we use for our star hopping activities. You can get them for free at starhopping.org/digitalstore/field-notes. If this is the first time you're checking out star hopping, and if you found this video useful, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, click the thumbs up on the video, and please share this tutorial out to your friends who like looking at stars. Please feel free to leave any questions or comments, and we will be sure to respond quickly. We'd love to hear from you to discuss all this great stuff up in the sky. Also, please follow me on X at StarHoppingMan and on Facebook, where I post announcements about these episodes and share all of our astro photos and keep everyone informed about upcoming astronomical events. Well, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time on Star Hopping with Kissimmee Park Observatory.